50 Cent has confirmed that Jay-Z is the first person Diddy is coming after following his release. Allegedly, Jay-Z set Diddy up to take the fall and is now planning to distance himself from everything. Jay-Z was present at all of Diddy's parties and even named in multiple lawsuits alongside him, but he never even stepped foot in court and somehow got the victims to give up. Is Jay-Z really the mastermind behind Diddy's fall?
That the same concept with the Super Bowl. See, they don't understand the relationship. They was trying to get him to do the Super Bowl without me.
Wasn't happening.
And that's not it. It wouldn't happen.
No way.
You see what I'm saying? Because he would look and go, it's okay for them, the award shows, not to give me the trophies. If you look at even Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them.
50 Cent has had beef with Jay and Puffy since the 1990s after 50 dissed Jay-Z on his How to Rob rap, where he called Jay-Z a poser. 50 knew that Jay-Z was all bark and no bite. All Jay-Z was capable of was blackballing other artists and using his connections to bring them down. Jay even told everyone in his crew to release their album at the same time as 50 to make sure that 50 didn't get any sales. Diddy and Jay didn't become billionaires just by making mid-music. They did it by pulling every other artist down.
And, I remember one time walking in the studio, Bleak Beans, everybody was in there, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now, just flood it, put out a lot of music, because 50 Cent is coming. And, 4 months later, and the club hit, and it was over. And It was just like, okay, now everybody got to sit on the sidelines and wait this tidal wave out.
It's a huge difference in energy internationally in 50 Cent and Jay-Z. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records sold 5 million. And let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there. Because America can be purchased. We can buy it with marketing dollars. You see what I'm saying? But the rest of the world, there's not enough marketing dollars to go around.
That's why I made a statement about Taylor Swift.
I wish you would come take one of my awards so I could black his eye in front of everybody.
And Jay disagrees.
I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
Does that bother you? Does it bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me. It's just his choice.
Why would you have to make that clear when no one's ever asked me if I'm afraid of Jay-Z?
The public is responding to his punk presentation. It's not 50 Cent. I don't have a problem with him. Kanye would not take a trophy from me. Neither Jay-Z.
Right.
Neither one of them.
What would you have?
No, we'd have had altercation right there.
50 saw right away what Jay and Diddy were doing. He saw how they tried to bring Nas down and drown out his album. The same guys who claimed that they were role models for Black artists and wanted to uplift the community were trying to make sure no one else could succeed. 50 never bought Jay-Z and Diddy's story for a second. He knew there was something up, having beef. Jay and Diddy came after everyone that tried to rise up. If you weren't on board the Puffy and Jay train, you weren't going to survive in the industry. Lord Jamar said the same thing about the gay mafia in hip-hop. All of the record labels worked together, and if the elites didn't like you, they were going to make sure your career never took off.
You couldn't be bigger than Jay-Z. You couldn't sell more records than Jay-Z. But all you had to do was listen to Benny Siegel, and Benny Siegel was, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, he said that. That was the first of me actually hearing that. Like, oh shit. Like, I used to have questions like, why every time my album dropped, Jay would drop right on top. He wouldn't let me breathe or right before me. Like, I was always close, and I always thought like, damn, if a kid, back then it was physical copies. So if you had $20, $20 that you saved up and you was gonna buy an album, and it's under the same house, Rockefeller, between Jay and Beanie Siegel, you won't, 9 times out of 10 you won't buy the Jay-Z album. I never understood that every single album that I dropped, Jay dropped right on top. And it was like, damn, like to have in-house competition at that magnitude was crazy. Jay already the boss, but I always thought that, like, let me breathe. But to maliciously plot to hold me back, I don't know, man. I don't believe that. I don't want to believe that. I mean, but like I said, Dame would know better than me.
Jay has been a hater since day one. Rather than make sure that Black artists got more opportunities, he tried to take away the ones they did get access to. Jay tried to stop 50 from performing during the Super Bowl. If it wasn't for Eminem, 50 wouldn't have been able to perform at all. M called the NFL executives and told them he wasn't going to perform if 50 wasn't with him.
The big homie Jay-Z, right? I said to my nephew, I said, yo, listen, I have to ask him this straight up. So I said, yo, why? Who is the people that's on NFL? And he said to me, and I'm sorry for anybody who don't understand. And he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm big in this Jimmy Iovine. And he said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
that's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
But that's his guy.
That's beautiful.
And guess who's Dre's guy?
Your guy.
Me.
Let's make him live.
I mean, Jay-Z's on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, you know,
true.
he's like, but you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and you know, Jay got to remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, you know, Diddy, but all that crazy going on. But, you know, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys with the most money and the most influence. So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay, so I think people are just gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you know, you gotta remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy. I'm like,
wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super
you didn't
Bowl?
know that? Yeah, he didn't
Well,
want.
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some haters. Yeah,
I remember
pushed for it,
Eminem
yeah.
was like, I'm not gonna do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted him there. I don't know.
Because of what, some of the
I mean,
back
you
and
know,
forth back in the
it's
day?
competition. You got to think. 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1. What the 50 Cent?
That was a long time ago.
That was what, 9? What was
yeah,
that?
but
9?
But after that, they did a song together. Remember
yeah,
the whole,
of course, but 50 was
sneaker
50
thing?
was always competition for niggas. Then remember Jay said, "Yo, 50's coming." He told Siegel and them, and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You got to remember, he came after this. He came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came, and people might shit on G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody has had the effect that we had.
Jay-Z and Diddy are cut from the same cloth, and they've been working together since the 90s. But Jay still refused to help Diddy out, and according to some reports, he might even have been the one to set this whole thing up. Keep in mind that CNN held on to the tape of Diddy beating Cassie for 8 years before they decided to release it. Who asked them to stay silent for so long, and why did all of this only ever come up now? The timing is too perfect to be a coincidence.
Who was kind of like, we're done with this guy. You're not back. You're threatened to say this. Release the footage, right? So they released the footage. He comes out, issues an apology. While his lawyers accused the government of leaking the tape, it was later admitted as evidence in his trial. Again, January deal. March is raiding his house, Miami in LA. May, here's a video being dropped from CNN. Even though they've been sitting on it for 8 years. September 2024, book is released, Kim's Lost Words, which, by the way, there's a lot of speculation with this thing here, so whatever I'm reading you is not necessarily 100%. It is there, it is not there. The alias they use on who wrote the book is Shanti Millwood, which is an alias for Tupac, which is kind of weird. Why would you use that? This book appeared on Amazon, allegedly written by Kim Porter, accused Diddy of misconduct with minors. Porter's children denounced it as fake. Investigators revealed the real author was Chris Todd, who claimed he compiled the book from a mysterious flash drive.
Everyone inside the industry knows that Diddy was set up and targeted. One day, Diddy is on top of the world and being handed the key to the city, and the next day, he's being taken to prison in handcuffs after losing $700 million.
Are you surprised at what things are coming out with Diddy at all, or you're like, you have no idea? It's none of my business. You'll live longer. Is that kind of like the mindset?
Surprised. How could you be surprised with anything that happens in hip hop? You know, hip hop is the Wild West. So you're gonna have the good, you're gonna have the bad, you're gonna have the ugly.
You think he's being targeted, or some of the stuff he's got, there's credibility on what they're coming after him with the tapes and the feds and raiding his Miami home, his LA home?
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah. I believe, somebody, has the power to pull the trigger to make, this stuff, this domino effect happen.
50 knew that the person targeting Diddy is Jay-Z, and he even made fun of it.
The new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like
that's right. To us, black excellence, right?
That had to be there.
We getting tighter, you know what I'm saying? And united we stand, and ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch. Like,
I hate you, man.
Unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you this year. Come on, bro.
It doesn't take a genius to see that Jay is controlling the industry. Jay-Z is a businessman first, and everything he has done in his career has been for money. He even married Beyoncé for money. 50 calls Beyoncé's marriage to Jay-Z a contract. Since marrying Beyoncé, Jay-Z has won 16 Grammys. Before this marriage, he only had one. Even their kids have Grammys, and they haven't even started rapping yet.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. Mm-hmm. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. No, those trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
Wow. You're gonna let him say that? Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he didn't show up.
No, he had like 20 now.
Oh, Lord.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
At the same time, he got them shits. He's like drinking. His pictures with him. He thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's in.
Oh, wow.
Why are you so on top of the business side of Jay-Z? You know what I'm saying? Some people like to just be an artist.
Yeah, I was actually forced to be an artist and a businessman because when I tried to get a deal, I couldn't get a deal, so I had to create Rockefeller Records. We actually created Rockefeller Records from nothing. And, so I was forced to know both sides of the business.
It's shocking how Jay has never had to go to jail. He did everything Diddy was accused of and more. But unlike Diddy, he wasn't stupid enough to confess to his crimes on live TV. Jay-Z's dirty history doesn't start with Diddy either. Back in December 1999, Jay-Z was involved in a high-profile incident where he was accused of stabbing music executive Lance Rivera at the Kit Kat Club in New York City.
A top rap star is busted.
Jay-Z turned himself in tonight, and the cops started working on his rap sheet, accusing him of a stabbing at a trendy party.
Kimberly Richardson is at Midtown South right now. Kimberly.
Well, Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stabbing fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last night. But just a few moments ago, Carter's attorney had this to say.
He's not involved in this, period.
He was at the club?
That's my only comment. He wasn't involved in this.
So it was someone else that did the stabbing and the hitting?
I didn't say that. I said he was not involved in it.
Now, Slovis goes on to say that at no time was Jay-Z hiding from the police, that they were in touch with cops all day and that they're trying to resolve this as gentlemen. But as Mike Sheehan shows us, others say they've seen the dark side of Jay-Z.
I have my faults. You know, I'm not a perfect person.
Diddy was also involved in a similar case where he actually shot someone. But just like Jay, he was never convicted. Now, years later, Diddy is being sent to prison while Jay is pretending like he knows nothing about any of Diddy's crimes. You're telling me that one of the most powerful men in hip-hop was friends with a billionaire for over 3 decades, and he never knew what was happening behind the scenes? 50 met Diddy once and knew exactly what kind of person he was.
You and Puff haven't liked each other business-wise for a long time.
But that's why it's only business. It was really, away from that, I explained why I didn't hang out with him, right? Because it's a little fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my style.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. Like, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. Like, and now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards. Or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. And when I say people respond, how people respond to things matter, like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, yo, nah, I'll spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this. And it's in it only because he's uncomfortable.
One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember everyone telling us that he was totally insane and deranged when he was saying a lot of things that at the time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he's gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take the but he wants you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy. We are still seeing a major effort to protect the big names, just like with Jeffrey Epstein.
None of this was a secret. Everyone in the industry knew. Jaguar Wright and Gene Deal, people who have worked with Jay and Diddy, have been talking about these things for years. But the thing is, no one cares. As long as record executives continue to make money, they don't care what happens to victims.
But Jaguar has been warning us about Jay-Z. Jay-Z has now had an official lawsuit. It's everywhere. It's now being talked about louder than ever. I guess, does that give you some peace to know that people are finally really questioning this man?
It's emboldening me. I spoke on Piers Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great. Because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Piers Morgan.
Is Beyonce celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's very... She's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry. What I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
She knows. She knows.
Rihanna was trafficked to Def Jam.
She was an innocent baby when she came over here. And look
She
at her
was
now.
14 going on 15 years old. flown over without parental supervision in a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the fucking morning in a hotel room, auditioning at 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference room alone with Sean Carter for nearly 6 hours alone with no parental supervision. Her father collected a $500,000 check. She has the fastest inked deal in Def Jam history.
Diddy isn't letting Jay destroy his career. He's getting ready for revenge. According to a report by TMZ, White House officials have confirmed that a pardon for Diddy is being discussed, and it's possible that Diddy could get an official pardon as early as next week. There were rumors of a pardon for weeks, but now it is being finalized.
I feel like this is the 100th time that I've seen this being reported, but now according to TMZ, Donald Trump is thinking about giving Diddy that pardon. I will say the wording of this TMZ article is a little confusing, but they are citing that their source is a high-ranking White House official. According to TMZ, Donald Trump is thinking about commuting Diddy's sentence as early as this week. But TMZ cites this source as Donald Trump is vacillating, which means that he's not sure which way he wants to go. He's swaying back and forth, and he's indecisive about what he wants to do. I'm sure the wording about Donald Trump being indecisive on whether to give a pardon or not to Diddy is the fact that Diddy was publicly talking crap about him, because we all know how Donald Trump is. But it can still potentially be a big deal to know that he is even potentially considering a pardon for Diddy at this point, because he doesn't have to consider jack crap. The White House officials who are saying that they are urging Donald Trump to not give Diddy a pardon say that they are not sure what Donald Trump is going to end up doing, because at the end of the day, he does what he wants. We do just know he granted a pardon last Friday to another person that was in Congress. And I think with Donald Trump, we literally never know exactly what he is going to do. But all I gotta say is, if you're about to free Diddy, you also better free those Epstein files too.
Just 3 days after Diddy was sentenced to over 4 years in prison on prostitution charges, President Donald Trump seems to confirm he's heard from the mogul's legal team. The comments coming Monday from the Oval Office as reporters asked about a pardon for Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving 20 years for child sex trafficking.
I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it, but I will speak to the DOJ.
Why would she be a candidate for clemency, sir?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to speak to the DOJ. I'll look at it. I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
Trump and Diddy's ties go all the way back to the late 90s. Diddy was reportedly a guest at the president's 2005 wedding, and they ran in the same social circles.
One mogul after another. It's mogul time.
It's your boy Diddy.
ET's cameras caught them together at this New York charity event in 2008.
On X, one user said, multiple outlets are reporting that Donald Trump is considering commuting Sean Diddy Combs' prison sentence as early as next week. I covered the Diddy trial. If true, this would be an injustice and an insult to survivors like Cassie. This is no different from the privilege and protection already extended to Ghislaine Maxwell. Justice shouldn't depend on your wealth, fame, and proximity to power. 50 knew this was coming and has been trying to persuade Donald Trump to not give Diddy a pardon. He posted multiple times on X and Instagram, tagging Trump and saying Diddy shouldn't be pardoned. No one hates Diddy more than 50. Before Diddy's sentencing, 50 wrote a letter to the judge explaining how Diddy could never change, and if he was allowed to get out, he would harm the victims and return back to his old ways in no time.
And as 50 Cent caught wind of it, he said, man, you can't get no pardon running your mouth like that. LOL, get up out of here. As he had reposted that clip of Diddy talking down on Trump and calling Trump out, as they did have a relationship at one point in the past. Now, Diddy has been very vocal about being anti-Trump, and supposedly this pardon is allegedly coming from Diddy's team now, as he was convicted. We saw what happened Friday, 4 years in federal prison for the 2-man act counts that he was found guilty of in this RICO things that he got denied of. But with that going on, he still was ultimately convicted right here. Now 50 Cent, he gonna jump out there and go at Diddy every chance he get. I feel like he really uses it as marketing, but there is a little sentiment there as Dirty Daphne, that is his baby mama. She is somebody that got up on the stand and testified against Diddy.
In case Diddy's pardon falls through, he has already submitted an appeal to get his conviction overturned. He wants to get out as soon as possible.
We are following some breaking news right now, and Sean Combs is taking the first step to appeal his conviction and prison sentence. His attorney today filed a notice of appeal. Earlier this month, the disgraced music mogul was sentenced to 4 years in prison on prostitution-related charges. His lawyers have argued the conviction should not stand because Combs lacked a financial motive for transporting male escorts. More papers detailing the arguments behind the appeal are expected to be filed soon.
Jay-Z might have built an empire, but every empire eventually faces its reckoning. If Diddy really believes Jay set him up, this feud could expose everything the elites in hip-hop have tried to keep buried for decades. Do you think Jay-Z really betrayed Diddy? Or is 50 Cent just stirring the pot like he always does? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exclusive breakdowns on hip-hop's biggest power moves.